The groundwater sustainable and equitable development under constraints of ecosystem conservation and saltwater intrusion prevention in large deltas, also known as GWS-SENCE Nigeria, organized a consultation workshop for Ondo State stakeholders and communities. The workshop aimed to engage stakeholders in sharing the knowledge and experiences regarding the current status, challenges, and potential solutions for improving the quality of underground water sources in the coastal communities of Ondo State, Nigeria. It was held on Wednesday, the 5th of February 2025 at Bryte-Lite Hotel and Suites in Okitipupa, Ondo State, Nigeria.
Dr. Sarafat Ayafunke Tijani from the Department of Agricultural Extension and Rural Development in the Faculty of Agriculture of University of Ibadan. The project GWS-SENCE, that is a groundwater sustainable and equitable development under constraints of ecosystem conservation and saltwater intrusion, is a project that is being taken place in partnership with the government of Netherlands, specifically the Institute of Water Education in Netherlands. The project is a collaboration or partnership effort between this Institute of Water Education and 3 African countries: Egypt, Kenya, and Nigeria. And each of these countries, we're having 3 teams that is into this project. One of the team concentrates on the hydrogeology aspect of the project. Another group concentrates on the ecosystem of the coastal environment or communities. Then myself, I'm into socio-economic activities of the project. During the workshop activity, all those that participated, when they arrived, they were happy that we invited them because, as I said earlier, they have been hosted. But now we streamline those that attended this time around. And so they're also very, very eager to see us and also to participate in the activity. We confirmed for them to ask what are the challenges that they are facing with regards to the quality of water in their locality. And they were able to also repeat or confirm what they said earlier in the first workshop, community engagement workshop. They reaffirmed what they said that time. Then after that, we also posed to them that what do they think is the effect of this water on their livelihood activity. Farmers, they were able to tell us that it affects what they are cultivating, that most of the crop that they were used to cultivate before, they were unable to cultivate it again. And even the fishermen, they also informed us that most of the fish that they used to catch before, they are no longer there. And they have to travel far to get the little that they are getting because of saltwater intrusion. Even the trader, those that are using the water for food processing, so they also complain that sometimes if they use this saltwater intrusion to process the food, they don't get much patronage, because if they buy the eat and they realize that maybe it's so salty in taste, they are not coming back. And also maybe disseminating information that people, maybe the food this time around is not good. So we're able to gather all those information. Then we now post it to them that what do they consider to be the short-term plan that can be done to ameliorate the situation. And part of what the farmer that were there that they pointed out or they highlighted are that they need new variety of crop. Those ones that will mature in a very short period of time, so that before the saltwater incursion will affect the root of plant and maybe eventually lead to the death of the crop. They were able to tell us that they need short gestation period crop. Beside that, they also said they need information like climate information that will inform them on time that, okay, maybe rain will start at so period or rain will stop at so period, so that they know at what point should they go or cultivate whatever that they want to cultivate, and at what point should they not go into cultivation of this crop. The same thing with a freezer phone, so that to know the time to move into the ocean to go and look for the fishes and the time that they should not. So they identify that. The traditional ruler, they also talk about the fact that we need to help them to sensitize the community on the proper disposal of waste. That this is very, very essential, so that human activity will not be contaminating the water body in the area. And also provision of borehole. They also stress that one, so that if they can get borehole, they believe that the water from such kind of water source will be much more purer than maybe the one in the open space. And also emphasize sensitization on the covering of the well in the area, because we found out that another contaminant aside salt water intrusion is the contamination by maybe dirty objects around them due to maybe something like open defecation. So then also they talk about citing their grave where they are trying to, that they are using to bury the dead body in their area. Siting is very close to water body. It's also another way by which their water is being contaminated. Among the participants in the workshop are the water agency in Ondo State, such as Ondo State, Oil Producing Areas and Development Commission, as well as Niger Delta Development Commission. We have their representative at the workshop. And having been charged with responsibility of quality water, provision of quality water in the area, they also contributed immensely to this workshop. And on their own case, they believe that they can help to sensitize the community on what and what they can do to improve the water. Also, on the provision of quality water, their water plants. They have some water plants in the area, even though some of them they are not working again. Through the workshop, they said they are going to discuss or take the outcome of the workshop back to their offices for discussion and probably for onward action on what needs to be done. Also, we have the environmental health officers or environmental services provider that participated, and in their own, in fact, they talk about sensitization, creation of awareness on the need to cover the well. And apart from sensitization, they also said they are going to sensitize on the proper disposal of waste in the locality, and also educate them on the need to have appropriate toilet facility, appropriate waste disposal place, so that all of this will not be able to have much impact on the water. The project group, we hope to work on this and also move around to get as much support as possible on what they themselves they can provide at their own end, what the government of the state can do. But then we also promise to visit them in their community and also get them informed all along as things unfold with regards to the projects. They appreciated us and were able to have a good picture together, which now mark the end of workshop for that day.
During the workshop, Professor Olutoyin Fashaye, a distinguished professor of geography and the communication officer of the GWS-SENCE Team Nigeria, delivered an insightful speech on the significance of the intervention by the GWS-SENCE team in Ondo State, Nigeria. She emphasized that the initiative is not only timely, but also critical for the survival and development of Ondo State communities. Professor Fashaye noted that this phenomenon, known as saltwater intrusion, poses a grave threat to the livelihoods of the community, and without swift intervention, the situation could worsen.
Odò ó ń affect livelihood yín, ó ń affect iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe. Nínú ìwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ wa, a rí i pé ojú ọjọ́ tó ti yàtọ̀ yìí, ó ti jẹ́ kí omi kó yàtọ̀ nínú òkun.
Dr. Sarafat Tijani, the coordinator of the socio-economic team of the GWS-SENCE Team Nigeria, took the stage to discuss a vital aspect of the project, community engagement. Dr. Tijani explained that for any water management intervention to be successful and sustainable, it must have the active participation of the people who directly rely on the resource. She urged communities and government agencies to take ownership of their water systems by learning how to monitor water quality, detect contamination, and report any anomalies.
Community involvement, àfẹ́ ká máa ṣe lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀, a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ mọ báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe tó wá látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn aráàlú náà. Ìjọba kan gbé nǹkan kan wá, gbé nǹkan kan fún ìpòyẹ wá nìyí. So òun ni nǹkan tí ó gbé wa wá.
The chiefs from Aboto and Igbokoda communities gave profound insights into the challenges their people face. One of the most pressing issues they highlighted is the alarming rate of saltwater intrusion. The chiefs noted that this phenomenon is not only contaminating the freshwater supply, but is drastically affecting the fish population in their rivers. Their crops as well are struggling to survive.
The problem now is that the population has somersaulted in 20 folds. And this makes it impossible to manage some of the problems our sisters has mentioned. If you look at it, where 3 persons are living, now they are about 30. To maintain good sanitary, this thing will be very, very difficult.
Last year, nígbà tí ẹ lọ rí tẹmọsẹ sẹmínà náà yẹn bí òbí ẹ ṣe rí nígbà yẹn ó sì tún dá nísinsìnyí bí wọ́n ṣe jọ̀bọ̀ lójú bó ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. Bó ti wọ́ọ̀sì kò sí ẹja wó kò sí kankan. Àwọn omi tá a jẹ ń kó tẹ́lẹ̀ omi yẹn làwọn mú ṣùgbọ́n nísìnyí àlékún àjọ omi kọ̀ọ̀gá tí a ní kò dáa.
The Aboto traders talked about how high runoff and flooding are prevalent in both the Aboto and Igbokoda communities. The Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, also known as OSOPADEC, were ably represented by a few members of staff. A representative of OSOPADEC stressed that the major problem facing these communities is the seawater incursion, and that efforts are being made by their team and the government to salvage the issues faced by these communities.
I recall there was a time that there was a protest at my home. The Nigerian government has already issued a contract in some of billions to do embarkation so that the caution will be reduced. But you know, issues Nigeria, to go traveling how war ṣàpọ̀ ẹ̀ dáadáa, arúgbó àti ibi tí àgbáyé wà àti orí òkè bí kò sí ibi tí water pollution kò sí. Ní ibi náà, à ń rí ṣáláńgá súnmọ́ ibi tí omi tí àwọn èèyàn ń gún.
The local government presently is bad. Both surface contamination and underground contamination. And most of this thing is caused by ignorance. The surface contamination is through climatic changes, but the underground contamination is as a result of ignorance of our people. Majority of our communities, we don't have burial sites.
No burial site.
No burial sites. So some of our cows are very, very close to
to the river and at the same time to the well, and which as a result of underground contamination when the gate take place. The surface contamination as a result of human activities in the local government is also ignorance, because most of our wells are uncovered.
Students and teachers from Idogon High School highlighted the water challenges they encounter in their various communities and pleaded that the stakeholders, organizers of the workshop, and the government come to their aid.
Omi kan wà ńbẹ̀ nínú àgbẹ̀. Omi yẹn jó àmọ́ kò dáa. Báwo la ti mọ̀ pé kò dáa? Mọ́ọ̀sì wà ńbẹ̀. Àwọn mọ́là tó máa wá ńbẹ̀ wọ́n á fọ ẹsẹ̀ sí ẹ̀gbẹ́ àgbẹ̀. Wọ́n á fọ ẹsẹ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ fàdìyẹ, wọ́n fún máa ń se oúnjẹ, wọ́n fún máa ń wẹ̀. Ìgbà míì gan wọ́n máa ń mú àwọn kan máa ń mú, but èmi ò kí ń mú. Sometimes mo sì kí máa ń fi oúnjẹ tó bá rán máa lọ ságè mí. Torí ẹsẹ̀ wọ́n ti fọ ẹsẹ̀ yẹn ó di dandan pé kó padà sínú àgbè yẹn nítorí ẹ̀gbẹ́ àgbè ló máa ń fọ ẹsẹ̀ sí. So solution náà làwọn wá ẹjọ́ ẹ ṣe.
So níwèé tèmi ni pé wọ́n ti sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà pé tí omi tó bá pọn mi ká bọ́ ilẹ̀ tó a lè pa àwọn tó bá jẹ́ ọkùnrin bẹ́ẹ̀. Bọ́ọ̀lù ní ìwé tèmi náà mi ò rò pé a rí omi tí ò ní àbùdá ti tiẹ̀. Torí sáwọn omi kan tiẹ̀ kan sómi tó tiẹ̀ kàn yìí. Mo mọ́tàdé ló wá jẹ́ omi òjò omi gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá pọ̀ náà. Omi tó tá a lọ sílẹ̀ níta tójò bá rọ̀ á tó fún ìlọ ìsàlẹ̀ fífọ́ wọn. So it is only God grace nìkan ló.
During the workshop, a breakout session was held where participants were grouped based on their respective categories, such as traditional rulers, government agencies, farmers, and traders. Each group was tasked with deliberating on realistic short and long-term plans they believed could be implemented to combat saltwater intrusion in their communities. At the end of the breakout session, responses from the stakeholders were gathered. One of the organizers expressed gratitude to the participants for attending the workshop assure them that their discussions would be thoroughly considered, and encourage them to implement their short-term plan. The organizers also promised that more workshops would be held and regular visits to the communities would be made to help address the issue. After the workshop, Ms. Peace Aburime, a doctoral student in the Department of Agricultural Extension and Rural Development at the University of Ibadan, presented the workshop recap to the organizers. She outlined the short and long-term strategies proposed by stakeholders during the breakout session. For the short term, they emphasized the importance of boiling and filtering water, covering wells, preventing open defecation, using water purifiers, and engaging the community in awareness efforts to promote water purification and prevent pollution. For the long-term plans, stakeholders suggested the provision of early maturing crop seeds for faster harvest, the establishment of toilet facilities in the communities by the government, the implementation of laws to protect groundwater from pollution, the dredging of blocked creeks, and the provision of water treatment plants, among other solutions.